NightCap recap. What up, players?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the NightCap recap here on Specialty Media, Spitball and Sports. I'm your host, Jim Biringer, rocking and rolling. Teddy Repantis, we're back better than ever. You guys thought we were going to go away. We're not going away. Even though football season's over, we got wrestling to talk about. We got a little potpourri of everything in the first half. And we got definitely built to the Elimination Chamber, Wrestlemania 42. But we're back here, talk a little football news and notes around, the segment before we dive into everything. Teddy, what's going on?
Jimmy, you said it. Football's over, man. I'm looking at my clock. 252 days. I don't know, a couple hours. Like I'm already counting it down. The calendar's back there somewhere. But it's great to be alive on a Tuesday night recording a Nightcap recap with you. Nightcap recap never goes away, man. This is a 24/7, 365 conglomerate. We're always here for you. We're ahead of the game, and we're always talking sports, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the hardcore title, man. Defended all the time.
That's it.
24/7, 365.
Hey, like hardcore, Crash Holly in the fun house.
Yeah, Crash Holly in the fun house. We'll get to the wrestling in a minute. But I think we got to go around the NFL a little bit because the franchise tag window opened here, right? And some league news has been, some things have been, going around, potential trade rumors about guys moving on. Maybe Kyler Murray gets moved on from, Arizona. Do the Houston Texans move on from C.J. Stroud? I've heard those rumors. Potentially he could be traded. What happens with Bryce Young? Did they extend him? What are they thinking about there? But I think the biggest name, we got to talk about it, right? I mean, Kenneth Walker III is a Super Bowl MVP, and they didn't franchise tag him. So does that mean an extension is incoming, or are they going to let him test free agency?
Yeah, that's the big question, and that is a surprise because when the franchise tag window opened, which was today, I believe. Today is the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be for the next 2 weeks. They have the opportunity to do this. But the rumor is, and the word is, that they will not do this. And I am surprised because, like you said, Super Bowl MVP was a key cog of the success of the Seahawks throughout the season and especially in the playoffs. Super Bowl MVP, his value is never going to be higher. If I'm him, I'm okay with not getting tagged because I'm going to test myself in the free agent market. Maybe Seattle's thinking we're not going to be able to keep him and pay him because the price tag might be too high. But there's just a guy that's under 30 years old, a running back who's just hitting his prime and was a key piece of your success. Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL late in the year in these playoffs. He might not be back until the middle of next season, if he can even come back next year. We've seen guys come back quicker from ACLs. It's not a guarantee. So if I'm the Seahawks, I'm finding a way to work a long-term deal here. And for running backs, we know how this is, Jimmy. We talked about on this show how the running back hasn't really gotten the respect you and I believe that they deserve. And I think that started changing with Barkley, with Henry, showing that they could put teams on their back and win Super Bowls. And now with 2 years ago, Barkley's success with the 2,000-yard rushing season and a running back MVP, I think now is the time to give these running backs the money they deserve because they're the ones that are getting the most beat up with their bodies and taking the toll. So teams are going to be, coming at Ken Walker here and laying out some big deals. So,
I think we've seen teams not franchise tag guys and negotiate short-term deals, which I think most likely Seattle's probably. But don't forget they got JNS. They got Jackson Smith and Jigma still needs a new deal. Seattle has some players that they actually have to sign extensions for too. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Super Bowl MVP ends up on another team. But again, if you've listened to this program, we kind of tell teams what to do, and they end up doing the opposite, and they pay for it. Look at Minnesota. We told you to keep Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Now, the guy has won a Super Bowl, and you could have had him and then been in the same position. I am advising Seattle Seahawks and management to sign this guy to a 2-year deal and worry about the rest of it later on. Like, get this kid signed because I agree with you. Shaq Charbonnet is not Adrian Peterson. When Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, it was much earlier. And even people were like, oh, he's not going to come back. Dude was back. So Shaq Charbonnet is not Adrian Peterson. He's not built like Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson was a freak of nature, what he did with that. Like, he shouldn't have been back as early as he did, and he was back. So to me, I think you keep Kenneth Walker, you pay him a reasonable amount. Cap's going up a little bit. They have some wiggle room with it. I'm keeping Kenneth Walker the third if I'm the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, because check this out, Jimmy. I was just in my head now. Wheels are turning. What are some teams that are looking for a running back that could maybe not take them to the next level, but at least start a rebuild process for some of their teams? The Tennessee Titans have two guys there, Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. Hasn't really worked out. They're a 1-2 punch, and we haven't really seen what Derrick Henry meant to that team show up with those two guys. So now Robert Saleh's there, right, with Brian Dable, and they got Cam Ward, and you got a running back of a Ken Walker out there available. What better way to get the Titans back on track than put a bit? You got the money now, right? You got the cap space.
Yeah.
Offer this guy a big money deal, make it impossible for Seattle to match it, and boom, right? Your offense is instantly so much better going into the year. That's just one team I thought of right now that could do it. So
I think one team that could do it if they wanted to do it and not make the mistake. But I think a combination if the Giants moved off the fifth overall pick, or they decided to trade down, which they should trade down.
Yeah.
Imagine Kenneth Walker with a Cam Scatterboo combination in New York.
Yeah, and that would probably mean Tyrone Tracy's out of there if that happens.
But I'm just saying, but I still think Tyrone Tracy might still be out of there because say the Giants draft Jeremiah Love in the top 10 and you have Jeremiah Love with Cam Scatterboo. I think that's a good running back combination too.
Agreed.
So, I mean, there's definitely teams that could use the Kenneth Walker. I mean, trust me, there's a lot of teams. Every team could use them.
If I'm Ken Walker's agent, Super Bowl MVP, you're just putting that out there, say, look what I mean to this team. Get as much money as you can because running backs don't get paid like they should, right? But maybe this is the start of things changing because we're seeing how important a running back has been the last couple of years and how important now building that O-line.
You know who could use a running back? The Dallas Cowboys could use a running back.
Another team right there who's been, since Ezekiel Elliott has been gone, they're looking for their guy.
Could have paid Derrick Henry. Didn't want to pay Derrick Henry.
Right.
All right.
Could have had Derrick Henry right now. And now that you mentioned the Cowboys, I don't know if you want to segue to it, but George Pickens, we have a list of guys here that are on this potential franchise tag list. George Pickens is the first one for Dallas. They've been talking about, look, he wanted to get a long-term deal there. He had a great year. I think he was number 3 behind JSN and Puka Nacua when it came to yardage this year.
Yeah.
So he had a phenomenal year. A lot of games that CeeDee Lamb missed, and he picked up the slack. And I know Lamb wants him there, and I know Dallas this is a Jerry Jones type of thing. Don't pay your guys until it's too late or they're gone.
Pretty much.
Pickens is probably going to get the tag. Hopefully it works out for him and he can get the long-term deal at the back end. But the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, the classic offseason champions, coming out already, Jimmy, February, a couple days after the Super Bowl, and says, hey, they're still holding out hope that we're going to get a Super Bowl. We're knocking on the door. Jerry Jones is trying to manifest another Super Bowl. I don't know what he's thinking. The usual offseason ridiculousness that Jerry Jones likes to talk about.
Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. Like, Jerry Jones waits too long to pay his guys, and then the money becomes an issue, and then they're up against the cap, right? Like, just pay Pickens. Even franchise tag him.
Which is what they're going to do, probably.
Right? You were the same situation with Micah, and you didn't do it. Like, it's just stupid. Like, again, Jerry Jones sometimes makes good decisions, and then he makes bad decisions. And Jerry Jones, the owner, really needs to fire Jerry Jones, the general manager, and get a competent general manager, not his son, in Dallas.
Correct.
An outsider that knows what they're doing. Like,
yes.
So George Pickens needs to stay there. It means too much to Dak, means too much to CD. He takes the pressure off CeeDee Lamb, brings the double coverages over there. Gotta stay.
Absolutely, because we see how good Dak performs when he's got 2 big-time receivers. He kind of took a hit when it was just CeeDee Lamb by himself, and they lost Amari Cooper.
Right.
And now they get another big-time stud at number 2, and look what the offense is. Like, we know they have the capabilities to compete with all the teams in the NFC. It's just that they're just not making the right decisions otherwise.
Right, 100%. So I like that. I think, again, Jerry, take my advice. don't pull down your pants and slide on the ice. No, don't do that. But sign George Pickens. Do that. Got Breece Hall's out there.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne is out there. Alex Pierce is out there. Like I think Etienne, I think is going to stay. I think they'll work. I think he'll get franchise tagged, and then they'll work on a long-term extension because Etienne and Trevor Lawrence together is just money.
Agreed. I think Travis Etienne's a guy they have to sign, especially because their rookie running back, Tootin, was pretty good. But it was clear that as the season progressed, Etienne was the bell cow back there. And he was part of the reason that the Jags won 12 games and that offense got going. So I think if you're the Jags, you have to either franchise tag Etienne or, again, what we just said about Walker. Work on a 2 to 3 year extension, short term, big bonus money. And play him out while he's there in his prime, because by the time these guys hit 29, 30, that's when the decline starts. So I think Etienne has to stay. Another guy, Breece Hall, I know our buddy Justin Gonzalez will say the Jets should just get rid of everybody and restart. But Breece Hall's your most talented player. If you want the Jets to have any modicum of success at any point, Breece Hall has to stay. But that's another guy that teams can reach out and try to match what the Jets are given. If I'm another team, I'm checking in on Breece Hall also because he's talented.
I wonder if Breece Hall even wants to stay.
Probably not. I would say deep down, probably not, but he's not going to say it.
No, but I mean, like all these dudes are leaving the Jets. I'd be like, all right, I'm out.
Right. Like, why should I stick around and sacrifice my prime years if you're not going to have protection for a quarterback? You don't even have a quarterback. I got to wait at least 2 years to see these draft picks come to fruition. Why don't I go somewhere else?
Like if I'm Breece Hall, I'm looking at my options and seeing where the best option is to go play.
Agreed. You got to look around the league and you got to see scope out how the draft is going to shake up with certain situations, and then make your decision during free agency. Like if you're Breece, don't waste your prime unless you think you're getting this crazy money that the Jets are going to offer that are going to take care of you for the rest of your life. That's a different situation. But I mean, look, Kyle Pitts is another guy in Atlanta that
I'm surprised he doesn't have an extension yet.
Yeah, I am shocked because Kyle Pitts was probably out because Drake London was in and out of the lineup, good receiver. But Kyle Pitts was like, we saw Atlanta get hot at the end of the year, right? And be a spoiler for a lot of teams. And that was because of Kyle Pitts.
And they almost made the playoffs because of it.
They were a game out, right? It was a 3-way tie, and they lost the tiebreaker. So if they win one more game, they're in there. So Kyle Pitts was a key reason that, him and Bijan together with whoever, if Michael Penix is going to be the guy, I don't know, whatever they're trying to do there. But Pitts should be a guy that also, I think other teams that are tight end needy are going to check in on him also.
Right. And then you have Wan'Dale Robinson on the list of the Giants. I mean, I think he got overpaid on his last contract.
I'd let him go.
I'm going to let him go, to be honest. Like, they don't need Wan'Dale Robinson. You could find that someplace else on free agency.
You really could. And Jermaine
Illuminor. Or you can find him in the draft.
Agreed. Yeah, you could find a second-day receiver and to step up and be.
Or you can find another Victor Cruz that went undrafted.
Yeah, and we're talking about a number 2 or 3 receiver here. So there's plenty of talent out there. And Jermaine Illuminor, the O-lineman for the Giants, that's a guy that I think. Listen, if you're going into the year that you think the Giants are going to scatterboo and you're going to protect Dart, I think you got to try to keep him or sign a big-time free agent or draft somebody. It's one or the other, So one other thing I want to throw out about the Giants I didn't have on this rundown, but Cam Scatterbo in his recovery, his rehab, he actually credited Fred Warner had a similar injury to Scatterbo this year. And they talked to him during Super Bowl weekend, and he said his injury was a little more severe than Fred Warner's, but he got a lot of good advice on how to ramp up and get ready. So the hope is that Scatterbo can go full force at OTAs and training camp. Obviously not going to push it, but that's good news for Giants fans that Scatterbo's like on schedule for his rehab right now. That's good.
Well, that's why I'm saying if Jeremiah Love's there at 5 or 6, I think they're drafting 5.
That's number 5 at the moment. Yes.
I draft him.
What about the safety that they're talking about, Downs? He's getting a lot of.
Downs is a good player. That like if you say you go sign, like say Kenneth Walker doesn't stay in Seattle, you get Kenneth Walker to go with Scatterbo and you take Downs. Yeah, man, that defense is now you're starting to have a unit.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk from a lot of media heads and obviously anonymous executives or personnel guys that are saying the Giants have the ability to be this year, the 2026's version of what the Patriots just did here in 25.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
It is. I think it is. I agree.
I think it's a little bit of a stretch.
But you never know. You never know.
I don't think they can win the division. I think they could compete for a wild card spot? Absolutely.
I think so too. too. And that's
that's where you had the Patriots. Like
I did.
Everybody can go find the show. That's where he had him. He didn't expect him to win the division.
Yeah, I had him at a wild card at number 7. So if the Giants can pull that off, we see worst to first at least minimum twice a year. It happens every year.
I expect Washington to be better, and I expect Washington to be better.
Well, yeah, we expect a bounce back there in Washington for sure. So that division, if Dallas gets some things together, Philly's the interesting one
that's a wild card.
Now it's a wild card because a lot of guys. We both said at the end of the year recap, we said the Eagles should be still winning this thing, but since that time they've lost a couple coaches, a bunch of their staff members. AJ Brown rumors persist. And a lot of talk of Sirianni, like you said, getting to that hot seat if things don't go right. And Jalen Hurts
on the hot seat the year they won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. And Jalen Hurts getting a lot of heat. I don't know if people.
Well, not justified hate. Like I'm being honest.
Not justified. I agree. I don't know why he's hated on, but he's getting a lot of flack for maybe the offense not being as advanced as it should be. I don't agree with that.
Where was his offensive coordinator? It was down in New Orleans.
Exactly. 2 years ago, last year, Super Bowl team. Look at their offense. Look at what they did even 2 years ago. I don't think that should all be on Hurts' shoulders right there.
The play calling was awful in Philadelphia. Drew even admit that.
Yes. So now they signed this guy from Mannion, Sean Mannion, former quarterback of the NFL. This should be interesting. And I'm sure Hurts is going to have some input. So NFC East could be interesting, man. Well, we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Wild card right now for the NFC East, right? I feel like it's a wild card. I think feels like outside of like the NFC West, nothing is a sure thing right now.
Agreed on that. We don't know for sure. As Sting likes to say, one thing's for sure. It's that nothing's for sure.
For sure, especially with the Stinger.
Yes.
And now Tyreek Hill released by the Dolphins. By the Dolphins. And do I think he could go back to KC?
Yeah.
I think he could. That's a player that they need. They don't have a wide receiver.
Do you think that he's going to be this? Here's the thing. That injury was so severe. Again, in the same vein of what happened to Fred Warner and Scatterbo, but I think his was the most severe out of all those injuries. From just looking at those still shots of what happened.
What, to Mahomes?
No, to Tyreek.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Tyreek, whether he even reunites with KC, are we going to see the same game-breaking speed?
No.
Because I think he was losing it even before the injury with Miami, to be honest.
He had lost a step last year, to be honest.
Right. So do you think him reuniting with KC gets them back to their glory days just suddenly like that? What do you think here?
I think the way KC operates, I think they're looking for the next guy. Like because they drafted what's his face from Texas, the kid that they used that was in and out of the lineup this year.
Xavier
Worthy,
yeah,
right? Like Worthy could be that guy.
Right.
Like, do they really need Tyreek Hill? Yeah, they could use him. Buffalo could use Tyreek Hill more than Kansas City could.
That's another. Yeah, Buffalo will be the only other team that I think. Okay, Josh Allen. He's been needing a top guy, a field stretcher. Tyreek could be a guy.
But the issue is Tyreek's the head case.
That is the issue. I don't know how much he would mesh with Buffalo's culture and the blue collar mentality of that team and Josh Allen. He'd really have to be on his best behavior there, I feel like.
Right, like it would be a 1-year deal, and you're getting a 1-year deal, and you're taking what we're giving you, and you're understanding what your role is.
Exactly. So that's a to be determined for me because I don't know if Tyreek Hill is going to regain the form we saw just a couple seasons ago. So,
he was losing a step already.
I think he was, Jimmy.
I think he really was, and all those issues that he had off the field in Miami was a problem. So, there's going to be a lot of interesting decisions to be made. Again, like we've talked about, where does AJ Brown get traded to?
Yeah,
Could he be an option in Buffalo?
He could be. Yeah, look, if Philly's really, I know what Philly's not going to do. They're not going to trade him in the division.
No.
They're not going to pull a Giants and trade.
And I don't think they would trade him inside the conference unless they got a package that would really blow them out of the water.
Again, maybe they patch things up and he sticks around for another year.
Personally, the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are a better team with them just Devontae Smith.
Agreed. I feel like the smart thing is to keep them. The thing is, we're going to be on top of this every week here when we're on the show. Whatever news is breaking, we're going to be on top of it. A.J. Brown's one of the ones that we're going to keep an eye on because we were talking about him a lot during the regular season.
Like, I think New England could use him. I think Buffalo could use him. Baltimore could use him. Like, there's a lot of guys that can
name a team. I feel like anybody could use him. He's a talented guy, man. He's
still a talented guy, but I think there's something off in Philadelphia.
There definitely is, and I think his name is Nick Sirianni.
I think I'll be honest, even though he just signed that contract extension, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets fired after the season.
If they have a slump.
All right. Way too early prediction?
Yeah. Are we both saying the same thing here?
Nick Sirianni's gone.
Yeah. All right, let's just preface this by saying these are not our bold predictions that we do in September.
No, these are way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early.
This is just reacting to what we just saw. The Super Bowl was 2 weeks ago. Off the cuff, way too early. Both Jimmy and I have this in our top 5. We both think the Eagles are going to have a little mini slump here.
Mini slump. I think they're going backwards. I think they're going to be this year's version of Kansas City.
Man, if that happens, I mean, heads are going to roll in Philly. The sports talk media is going to be losing their minds. I mean, A.J. Brown will be traded mid-season if that happens, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, he's got to be on the team first, which we'll see if that even happens.
We'll see if that happens. That's a good point.
So I think that's one for me. I think 2, way too early prediction. Chicago Bears going to run it back.
Love it. Love that,
Chicago
Jimmy.
Bears are going to run it back again, and they're going to win the division again.
I love that. I like that. That's a great one to put out there. I mean, I'll just knock this one off because I'm going to be high on the Giants this year, man. I mean, that's going to be my Pats when we do. If things play out nicely here in the offseason and there's optimism in OTAs and training camp and Scatterville looks good.
There's always optimism in OTAs.
This might continue. This might stay on the list for September. But right now, I got the Giants returning back to form on the defensive side, and Jackson Dart taking that year 2 leap that we saw Drake May took. Drake May had an MVP-like season until he got into the playoffs. But I think Dart is going to show way more here. And for me, give me the Giants being back to a competitive football team, perhaps.
I like it.
10 wins in a wild card spot, Jimmy.
Oh, that's music to my ears because
I
would love. It's been too long since the Giants have been that good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been way too long since they've been that good, and they need to be that good. Man, you just look at it right now and like way too early predictions. I think if I had to say it, I think the way Atlanta finished the season, I know I had them as a playoff team last year in a bold prediction. I got it wrong, but I'm going to go to the well again. I think Atlanta, to me, is a team you can't sleep on, and they're going to compete for a wild card spot next year in the NFC.
I like it, Jimmy. Love that. I think I'll throw out here Jacksonville. I think they're going to continue. We're going to get a back-to-back division champion. I think Jacksonville is going to actually go a little further in the playoffs next year. I expect this run to continue because I think Liam Cohen is the key here. That's the guy that I think the Jags needed all along as a head coach. So I expect more of the same from the Jags that we saw this year. Travis Hunter's going to be back. We're hearing that
he's only going to be a quarterback. He's going to be a full-time
most of the time. Not full-time. I think 80% of the time, which is interesting because he started actually doing really well at receiver before he got hurt, and I think he was going to break out, unfortunately, that injury. So I'm very curious to see if he starts playing well as a receiver, do they make that switch? If they're comfortable and saying, hey, we need you on defense, all right, cool. Another talented guy you're adding there. So give me the Jags to continue the success, back-to-back years, build on it, and maybe get to a conference title game.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
It's a big maybe.
That's a big maybe though, because the division itself. I'm gonna give it. I think this is a way too early prediction.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna take the Houston Texans. We may clip this as a hot take.
Let's go.
The Houston Texans will have a new starting quarterback at the beginning of the season.
Woo! And outside. Okay, is it Davis Mills or is it going to be somebody else?
It's outside the organization.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting one, Jimmy. That's a good one.
I think just because of what I saw in the playoffs, I think there's a lot of doubt in Houston right now. I think this team should be better than it is, especially with the defense that they have with Will Anderson Jr. That defense carried them into the New England game, and maybe if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud being so poor, they are playing in the conference championship game, and maybe they get to the Super Bowl based with their defense. I think there's too much expectations now, and I think management's taking a really hard look at potential quarterback change and not just Davis Mills. I think they'll look to see if they can get somebody.
We might be clipping that. I mean, if at any point C.J. Stroud gets benched and there's a different quarterback, come back here, guys. February of 2026, Jimmy B.
I just think if we're going it's way too early to say it because now I'm reacting to what I saw in the playoffs. But I just look at it and I'm just wondering, like, is this the guy that can lead the Houston Texans?
I don't know. There's a lot of question marks there. You're right about that.
We said it. How many times did we say in Indianapolis? All-time defense, great defense, got the pieces, but the quarterback's just not there.
And that was for years, about 8 years in a row that was the case.
Ever since Andrew Luck retired.
Ever since, yeah. They've been looking since he retired, pretty much.
I just feel it's the same thing right now, and I think Houston's too good of a team not to be back in the playoffs next year and making a deep run with that defense.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of an elite defense while they're all in their prime. Because look, things change year to year. Yeah, they had such a great run at defense this year. They're still going to be good, but are they going to be as dominant? I don't know, but you got to take advantage while you have the opportunity.
So that's my number 4.
Yeah, my number 4. I'm going to continue to pile on the grave of the Kansas City Chiefs here. I think the Andy Reid era is slowly ending here. I said last year my bold prediction for them was we need a reload, right? We're gonna and that if Travis Kelce's coming back, because now we're hearing things that he's gonna come play one more year.
Why?
I know.
Go away.
He's already shown that he's slowing down. So if you're telling me
slowing down,
yeah, he's slowing down.
Dude, he slowed down, and the catches he used to make 3 years ago is dropping
a lot of passes and has to be wide open to make a play. Can't get open like he used to anymore. Doesn't have the separation. So if you're telling me it's him and we're not adding a Tyreek Hill, we're not making any other additions, we're running it back, we're waiting for Pat Mahomes to come back with the ACL, I'm sorry. I think the Chiefs, again, finish outside of the playoffs. Another too early prediction. To be determined to see what they do the rest of the offseason. But Chiefs out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree with this. 100% agree. I think everybody healthy, the Chargers are going to finish first in the division. And
I know you're high on those guys. You're very high on those guys.
Love Harbaugh. You know how much I love the Harbaugh brothers as coaches.
And now Mike McDaniel's the offensive coordinator. So
with Justin Herbert,
yeah,
and everybody's going to be back healthy, they're going to win the division, win a playoff round, and maybe get to a conference championship game.
Because they had a top O-line prior to the injuries. They had three all pros on that offensive line that all were lost to injury.
And they lost a running back.
And they lost a running back as well. So, I mean, that's a great prediction as any for the Chargers, Jimmy. I like that because I think they will be, once again, a playoff team, but maybe a little higher in the seeding for sure. You're picking them to win the division here.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah.
Let's see. My final one, I mean, I can't pile on Miami anymore. I really think Miami's going to nosedive here with all the
Miami's done. Miami's done.
Yeah. I don't think Cleveland's going to be any better than they were last year. I'll say this. I'll say I think Detroit, not really a bold thing to say, but I think Detroit finds a way. Dan Campbell's too good of a coach. They got too much talent there. Gibbs Jameer Gibbs is only 23 years old.
I got a bonus one for you.
Give me a bonus one right after this. I'm going to say Detroit gets back to competing with Chicago as the lead dogs of that division because I think Green Bay, they're just, I don't know, they're in mediocrity right now. I think they're just going to stay put. I think Detroit's going to wait to bounce back up there and get back into playoff contention.
So here's my bonus one. You just mentioned them. I think Green Bay's taking a step back, and I think they're going to take a major step back.
So that means LaFleur's probably gone after the 2-year extension.
Yeah, I think.
Or they get rid of him early if that happens.
I think they're going to take a major step back.
And that starts with I read something that Josh Jacobs seriously could be a cap casualty for the Green Bay. That would be a disaster because he's been so good for them, especially inside the red zone. I just don't
like what I've seen from Jordan Love, and the team hasn't progressed.
And now that you mentioned this, we didn't talk about this. Malik Willis is getting talk as a quarterback that some other teams might look at as a potential starter. He's been the backup, and he's been really good.
And he's played well as the role.
Right. The Packers didn't miss a step when Love went out. So look for there you go. Bonus one, Packers.
Well, here's don't forget Malik Willis, Mac Jones are guys that are going to get a lot of attention.
Mac Jones, who Kyle Shanahan, to his credit, I love this guy because I know he plays the media so well, saying sticking to his story. We're not in the business of trading good players. We're going to keep him around for one more year. It would behoove us to keep him. When the right deal comes, I think he'll know maybe it's time to move him. I'm okay. I'd love to keep Mac Jones. Protect Brock Purdy.
That would be the smartest decision the 49ers make.
But if a good deal comes to your table, like we're hearing Minnesota might offer something because they need a quarterback. I mean, look, you got to listen. So Shanahan, let's see what he does with Mac Jones here.
Right. Blind Super Bowl pick.
Yeah. Just throw two teams out there.
Rams and Ravens. I don't know.
Rams and Ravens. That's a good one, Jimmy. I'm gonna go.
Or Rams and Chargers.
I'm gonna go.
Actually keep it in Los Angeles. Let's say it. Chargers, Rams in Los Angeles.
In LA. The Super Bowl's in LA.
Yeah.
So all LA Super Bowl in LA.
Yeah, all LA.
I'll join you with the Rams. I think Stafford gets one last run at it. But I'm going to be super high on my guys, the Denver Broncos with a healthy Bo Nix and Sean Payton getting to the Super Bowl this time. Broncos, Rams in LA, and I'm not going to pick a winner, but that's way too early.
Yeah, way too early. We'll revisit that. We're going to revisit
in September. We will have these. We'll have these predictions again in September, and they'll be legit.
Yeah, they'll be legit. These are way too early. Way too early.
Yeah.
You got any questions?
Yeah, fan question. We'll step away from the NFL. Emmer, a big proponent of sending in questions here. Thank you for big listener since day one. He watched the NBA All-Star Game. He wants to know our thoughts. Did we think it's competitive? They had 3 teams. I didn't understand it. I will say the guys played a little tougher because it was just a 15-minute period. Perhaps the key to getting these guys to play competitive ball is just having a pickup game and having them play for 10 minutes, kind of like how we play ball. We run a game for 10 minutes and another team jumps on. That's what they kind of had going. It was the World versus USA. I watched a little bit of it. It was fun. We got a buzzer beater. The guys played tough, but I think we're way past this ever being a thing that we're looking forward to anymore because the guys, Adam Silver, I don't know, there's no incentive to play anymore. These guys don't really need the money. So I think
don't care, and they don't want to get hurt.
Nobody wants to get hurt. They don't care. So will I say, was it competitive? Sure. I watched the last 10 minutes, and it looked like Kawhi Leonard at least was competing, playing tough out there. But other than that, it's not something that I feel like, unless they market it some different way, I don't know if the excitement's ever going to come back that we felt from back in the day, Jimmy.
I mean, I don't care about any of the All-Star games anymore. I really don't.
It's a shame. It really is a shame, too.
I used to love the NHL All-Star Weekend with the starter shot and all this stuff. The guys just don't care. They just don't care.
The exciting part of, I want to say, for all
more guys
sports,
care. More guys care more about getting time off than going to play in the game. If you want to name your All-Star teams, quote unquote teams, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I get why they're not going to go away because all the sponsors get to go, the leagues get to mingle. Yeah. It's money.
What I used to love about all 4 All-Star games as a kid, growing up, whatever you want to call it, was I couldn't wait for this guy to team up with this guy. Like, Ken Griffey's going to be there with Mark McGuire, and like Ken Griffey and like Jeter on the same team. Yeah, like Derek Jeter and A-Rod.
A-Rod, Cal Ripken, and Jeter were on the same team.
It's like, oh my God, like they're on the field together. They move A-Rod to like that was exciting. Oh my God. LeBron James and Kevin Garnett are going to be in the same team, two of my favorite players. But like back in the day, oh my God, Kobe and MJ are going at it. Like these guys are going to be on the same team. I can't wait to watch that. Hockey, same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Like I mean, you remember you watched like your guys are making an all-star team, but they were playing with Leach or they were playing with Richter.
Yeah.
Or so-and-so was playing with Fedorov, and this guy was playing with Yzerman, and Sakic and Yzerman were on the same team because Detroit and Colorado hated each other, but they were on the same all-star team. Or when you had North America versus the world, you had the U.S. guys and the Canadian guys on the same team, but the rest of the world was together with all the Russians and the Europeans, and it was really fun.
Yeah, and I think the NBA tried to do that with this USA versus the world. They took a page out of the NHL's book because it was successful. And to throw it to the NFL, like, oh my God, Peyton Manning's throwing passes to Randy Moss out here. We never see that. You know what I mean? So that's what I miss. Now it's not like as exciting anymore. I don't get that excitement anymore.
I can care less about them.
The guys teaming up or whatever. It is what it is. And the other question he had, we'll keep it NBA. LeBron James, a lot of rumors. This might be it for him in LA. I don't think he's calling it quits because I think he's going to get that retirement tour. If he does, is that the way to go finish out your career? Do you care about the championship or do you want to go finish out at home? Should LeBron finish out in Cleveland? I'm going to say yes. You might disagree with me on this, Jimmy, I think.
You know, I said off air, I said he should finish his career someplace else. I thought maybe stick with LA or go some. I'm okay with him going back to Cleveland full circle. Like, I've really thought about it. I think full circle moment, finish your career in Cleveland. I think that's where you should do it. I always think, like, I know Michael Jordan finished his career with the Wizards, but he was a Chicago Bull. Like everybody knows he's a Bull. Like, to me, I know LeBron won his championships with the Heat. He did win one with Cleveland, but I associate him with the Cavs.
Always. He's a Cav. Yeah, he's a Cav for life.
He's a Cav for life. So full circle, I think get the retirement tour with Cleveland. I think, be honest, he might have a good shot to win with Cleveland the way they're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's talking about, look, James Harden got traded there. They got Donovan Mitchell, and they've been playing really well. So if you want a chance at a championship, the East is still down. I mean, the Knicks are probably the best team right now, but outside of that, go finish it up in Cleveland and call it a career. Get your retirement tour, and that's it, man. Call it a career.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. So I'm not like, look, to me, that's about it. I mean, on the All-Star games, I mean, I've been watching a lot of Olympics and stuff. You know, that's been good. Big day with the hockey, quarterfinal days when everybody's watching it. Canada plays Czechia. You got Team USA Sweden. You got Switzerland, Finland, Germany, Slovakia. So there'll be a lot of good games happening on the docket. Could be an upset or two in quarterfinals, which always happens with the hockey with best on best. It always happens.
We might not have talked about it, but shout out Lindsey Vonn. I know she got hurt again.
Yeah, she got hurt. Yeah.
For even going out there and at 40 years old, torn ACL a couple of weeks prior, and giving it a go. And she, I think, messed up her fibula, her broken leg, and has to have multiple surgeries. That's competitiveness to put on the line for your country. So that's awesome that she did that. So shout out to her for giving that a go when she was not healthy.
No, absolutely. So. I mean, very, very fun Winter Olympics so far. I always like the biathlon and the cross-country skiing. I think Winter Olympics is fun.
Bobs, you know what I enjoy watching? Is it
the bobsled luge?
Is not the luge the one where you're just laying on your back or your stomach?
The stomach, skeleton. You got skeleton going head first. You got luge on your back going feet first.
Listen, props to all those guys doing that. You're getting up to speeds about what, 80 miles an hour going down?
Yeah, you could go close to 90.
That's insane. I'm watching that. I'm like terrified, and I'm like, what kind of training are you doing for this? Props to these guys for doing this stuff.
How about the dudes that do the ski jumping?
That too. I mean, I could never do that ever. So like, that's insane to me. Like, anytime I watch this stuff, it was fun to watch the other night too. I don't know if it's just what it's called, but it's just two skiers side by side, like kind of a race. They had the women's event going. I don't know what it's called, but they got
the dual moguls or the?
Yeah,
or
it's a race. It's 1-on-1, and you just have to beat the other guy in a race, and you're going around in a circle with your skis on. I forgot what it's called. That was fun to watch too. It was almost like a roller derby, but on skis. Yeah, that was fun. So all these guys,
Oh,
all
you
these
got the speed
athletes,
skating. I always like the speed skating. That's fun to watch.
Yeah,
like everything about the Winter Olympics is I like
it's
better
fun.
than like outside of swimming and diving in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
when that's over, I turn it off because there's not much else to watch. But I like the Winter Olympics. There's been more things to watch. Not a big fan of the World Baseball Classic. Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's going to be March coming up before the MLB season starts. Any quick thoughts on the Yankees this year?
I love what Judge had to say that they didn't spend anything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love you.
He kind of put his team on blast there, right?
He put the owner on blast. I like it. Plus the strike's gonna come. We know strike's coming. I know Tony Clark stepped down, but there's a strike coming. Enjoy your last season of baseball for a while. That's all I'm gonna say.
Agreed. And before we turn the page to wrestling, R.I.P. Robert Duvall.
Oh, so many great roles, man.
Yeah, especially The Godfather.
Dude, Godfather, man. That's.
But so many great roles. You're right.
So many great roles, man. So many great roles.
He's smell of napalm in the morning.
Like, you want to talk about GOAT actors? Duvall, man. Yeah.
He's so good in everything, and even in his later years, in some of the comedies, Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, he was so good.
That was hysterical.
He was so good in so many roles. I think he was with Adam Sandler in one of his movies. I forget which one, but you're right. That's an actor's actor, right? That's an old school guy.
That's a generational actor.
Throw in any movie he's in, and he always nailed his roles. Is phenomenal. A lot of actors from our generation, like 90s grown up. James Van Der Beek was another one recently. Passed away. So a lot of 90s millennial actors, and then of course Robert Duvall. So we had to shout that out.
Classic. I mean, he's in Gods and Generals, plays Robert E. Lee. He's been in a bunch of westerns. Like,
yes.
I mean, he's just that dude. Like, for Robert.
Agreed.
And R.I.P. Consigliere, because that was his great role for him in The Godfather. Both of them. 1 and 2, the best.
The best, man.
The best. So, so shout out to him, RIP to him. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll do what we do best, and that's talk wrestling because, well, we like to.
Additional consideration paid for by the following.
Practice. Now there's a fragrance that puts it all on the line. Arrogance. Whether it's a forehand, a backhand, every shot's a winner because women, Navrata, love it. Arrogance for men will make you the #1 seed. One shot, and you'll be in the royal box. I don't know.
What's going on, everybody? Back here on a NightCap recap. We're talking the wrestling. We got that football out of the way, baseball, a little potpourri for you. But now we got the bread and butter elimination chambers coming up. We got CM Punk, Finn Balor for the belt at the Elimination Chamber. That's going to be a heck of a match. Again, we talked about it last week on the episode. We say, you want to pull a bait and switch. You want to do something, change some things up. Maybe Punk drops the title, wins it back. I don't want the main event at WrestleMania to be a triple threat with those three, even though it would be really good. It's got to be Punk. It's got to be Punk and Reigns for the title. But if CM Punk has to work his way back to the main event, I'm okay with that. And maybe that's something that this company needs, like a jolt.
Yeah. I agree. Like we talked about the unpredictability, and Finn Balor winning it in Chicago because Punk beat him at his home turf in Ireland, and winning it back the next night. Because the overlying theme of what this story has been, Punk came out and said, hey, they told me I'm jeopardizing the WrestleMania main event. Adam Pearce said, I'm jeopardizing it. I loved Punk throwing this in there in his promo, said there's a lot of teams that qualify for the playoffs, but they still have to show up for regular season games. I love that he said that because basically he's anti-tanking. You lock up a seat in the playoffs, don't rest your starters. You show up for your regular season games. That's what this is for CM Punk. Yeah, he's got the Mania main event, but he's got Finn Balor right in front of him. So I love that that's the overlying arch here. So to throw a wrench in it, why not let Finn win it? And then he could lose it the next night. And then you could set up the Judgment Day breakup with Dominic, and now JD McDonough's back. I think the predictable way to go with this is going to be JD tries to help him win. Dominic tries to help. They screw it up somehow. Punk wins. And then that's how we get Finn to leave the Judgment Day.
Realistically, you have like
between
the Chamber to Mania, you have over a month, like almost 2 month stretch where you could actually change the title and change it back next month. You
could tell a good story. I agree with you. Because this is where I think if you want to get the Demon back, because Punk also mentioned these guys have been weighing you down. The Judgment Day is an anchor for you. They're teasing something.
And look, did you see Finn's shirt?
Yes.
It said Balor Club.
And he has the theme music back to regular, his old music back regular now.
So I think there might be a title switch here.
I would love it. I'm not holding out hope, Jimmy, because we try to give Triple H some more credit than he deserves sometimes lately. But it would be nice to throw a wrench in it and make it happen.
If we were in the writers' room, I would be pushing for a title change here.
I agree. Just to say it's different.
And it'd be like, well, what's the story here? Well, the story is CM Punk has to work his way back to the main event of WrestleMania to get the title.
The story is Pierce said you're going to jeopardize the biggest main event. And guess what? You did jeopardize it. You screwed up. How are you going to fix this? How are you going to get your way back there?
How are you going to get your way back there? Because you have, 2 months of nothing?
Right. You got to find a way back there and get a rematch.
Because when's Reigns supposed to be back on television?
I believe they're pushing for the day. I think he's going to be there for most of March. So that tells me that Punk might not lose it, but we'll see.
You never know.
Yeah, I hope that he does lose it and it's a one-night reign. It would suck, but it would be full circle for Finn to have back to 2 reigns as world champ, one night only. It would be an interesting story to tell because then you could pair him off with Dom or JD McDonough and get him back to the Demon and all that.
What we know they're going to do is probably one of them is going to screw him out of the belt at the elimination.
Whether intentionally or not. Because it seems like him and Dominic have some heat right now. Yeah. And JD's just really looking out for him because we know the history there. They're best buds. So it's interesting.
Right. It is interesting. And I think Dom needs to get out of that group and do his own thing right now. And
Dom and Liv should have been doing their own thing a long time ago. But I can see why they're keeping it. Though.
You got AJ and Becky, Intercontinental belt. Promos weren't great on Raw. Catch the highlights. They weren't that good.
Not that good. It is cool. I'll just say this. It's cool that Punk and AJ are getting 2 singles matches in the home city of Chicago for Punk at least. They're a couple. They're married. They're together, and they're like 2 of the.
They live there. Matches. They live there. Yeah.
Yeah. We know AJ Lee's a Jersey girl. Yeah. But Punk's from Chicago, so I love that as a married couple. That's a cool thing that they're able to do that. But I agree. I think the match will be good, but the promo work has. Becky's been kind of carrying that a little bit. I think.
But Becky also overacts on the mic too.
Like, purposely sometimes, but sometimes it's a little cringe and irritating.
Right. We're still waiting to get to 2 more participants for the Elimination Chamber for both the men and the women.
Yeah, I think Bronson Reed's going to get in there because they got the story with him in LA Knight now. And then the last spot's going to be an interesting one.
He cooked Logan Paul, by the way.
I mean, I feel like LA Knight always gets the best. LA Knight always gets the best of Logan Paul. I love that. Called him a broccoli-headed bitch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you already said it, Jimmy. You put it out there. Thank you to everybody who retweeted this about our WrestleMania card. LA Knight should be the guy, but we know what they're going to do. Cody's going to win this thing probably.
I don't need to, here's the issue what I have, and I'll say this one more time because we'll touch on WrestleMania another time when we have a little bit more time because I'll go back into it.
Yeah.
If the issue was we've seen Roman and Cody X amount of times, we've seen Drew and Cody X amount of times, and they just had a 3 stages of hell match.
Right. How many times are we going to see it now? How many times do we need it?
How many times do we need it? 3 stages of hell is a blow off to a feud, and the 2 guys go their separate ways for a while.
Yeah, we're still going here. We had the Drew cost Cody the Rumble, and then we had when he cost Jacob the triple threat. Thought he was going to help Sammy. So how long is this going to continue?
We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. That's why I say you put LA Knight there.
Agreed. LA Knight is our guy. He should be he's coming out there every week and cutting amazing promos. And I really hope that they pull the trigger on him. I don't know how many times we're going to say it, but look, I think the Chamber is going to be an interesting one. I think it's good. And the women's is interesting too, because I don't know. Look, we know, I think Liv, from what happened with Steph, is going to pair off with Steph Care. So whoever wins this is clearly.
I think it's going to be Tiffy time and Jade.
And Jade, okay. So, and look, I hope that they're going to get some time to put a good story and a good match together, hopefully.
Right. But I do think we need to get back to One Night WrestleMania and save it for the Raws and the SmackDown heading into Mania.
Agreed. I'm with you on that. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I hope that, look, this Elimination Chamber is not going to live up to what we had last year with The Rock, with that whole situation.
But you look back on
the heel turn.
You look back on the heel turn now, and it was just kind of stupid.
Yeah, it left a lot to be desired, because after that, Rock and Travis Scott were MIA forever.
And WrestleMania.
Well, Travis Scott showed up at Mania, and that was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it ruined WrestleMania. Like, it just ruined it. Like, the idea of turning John Cena heel was right. The execution of the rest of it was wrong.
Wrong. We're just begging Triple H, give us something to talk about. Throw a wrench in this. Like we said, have Punk lose the title. Have something unexpected happen going into WrestleMania. I think you need that, because you're saying your ticket sales are down.
I'm going to throw this one out there. You know who I'd like to see take on Jade Cargill?
Who?
Alexa Bliss.
Get her back, right? Because you've been beating that drum for Alexa Bliss to get her back to that main event picture once again.
Because she's a main event talent.
Yes.
Carried the women's division for a long time. Great as a champion. And now you've added drama in the Charlotte-Alexa mix.
Correct. And it's been such a long time, I feel like, since Alexa Bliss has been a part of that main event picture.
Yeah. So
since like pre-pandemic, probably.
Right. Like, I think some of her best work came as a heel champion. Like, she's really good at that stuff.
I agree. That would be something different. And we'd have to find a story for her and Jade Cargill. So, but right now it does seem like Tiffany Stratton is the one that makes the most sense.
Right. Exactly.
Right, with Jade. So,
yeah. Who's this masked man beating up everybody?
I want it to be Bad Bunny.
I hope it's Bad Bunny.
I mean, who could it be besides Seth Rollins? I mean, look, if it's Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker is going to be out a while, although you think that there's a chance he could come back at Mania.
You never know.
I don't know who it's going to be, but this person keeps attacking the vision.
It should be Bad Bunny.
If we're going to follow the story here, Logan Paul and Jake Paul both took shots at Bad Bunny, said his Super Bowl halftime show sucked. They didn't want to watch it.
It looked like Bad Bunny. The build looked like Bad Bunny.
Yeah, if this was Bad Bunny just dressing up and not showing his face, I mean, that's amazing. Like that they pulled that off. It could be anybody right now, but the reveal should be Bad Bunny for me, and give me Bad Bunny and Logan Paul.
It should not be like the last
Rollins?
two reveal. The last two reveals the last reveal was like a
Austin Theory.
That was a Vince McMahon higher power reveal. That was just like, why?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Like, what are we doing here? Like, if it's like Waller or Rollins, I'd be like, why?
Unfortunately, and look, I thought I had high hopes for Theory when
he sucks.
Not that they revealed him as that. They gave him the repackage with the cool theme song, really good first match back. Like, they presented him in such a good way, and then the typical Triple H lately start off with a bang, and you just fizzle out and do nothing with it. Since that time, they haven't done anything with him. He's just looking like a dweeb.
What? And that's what he was before he left.
So if you're telling me you repackaged him, good song, let's get something good for him. You haven't done crap. Braun Breaker's out. Elevate these guys. I mean, do something here.
But the vision ever since Rollins got hurt last year has not been good.
It's been cursed. I feel like that set off a chain of events. Rollins gets hurt. Breaker gets hurt. We thought from the get-go Heyman and Rollins didn't have that chemistry.
They didn't. They don't.
We felt like I'm not even going to say they didn't have enough time to build that thing. They got a good 6 months, and it never felt like a stable with chemistry.
No.
Right? There was moments, and then you're like, oh, maybe we got something, and it never built on it. So
no, because I think if the issue is, I think they picked the wrong guys too. Like, I'm not saying I don't think Breaker was the wrong choice with Rollins. I just think everybody else.
Yeah, we didn't need. Look, I love Bronson Reed too, but I think maybe if you kept that as a two-man thing.
The issue is Bronson Reed destroyed Seth Rollins, and it's like we forgot about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a rare misstep there. I think the point was that Rollins wants him watching his back instead of worrying about him. But you already had a menace in Braun Breaker. You didn't need
Braun
another
Breaker
big guy.
Braun Breaker was the menace, and he was the next guy.
Right. Yeah, they should have maybe let Reed and Breaker had a tag title run. Yeah. Then you could have made like, we got all the titles.
Here's the issue. This is what they dropped the ball with. They did this with Bayley's faction too, right?
Damage control,
right? You had to give them and make them look strong right away, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, they didn't do it. No, it just never felt like it clicked or the chemistry was there with the guys. That's what it was, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just bad all around. All right, we've done these crate things before. Well, we had the egg in the 1990. Hector Guerrero came out as a gobbledygooker.
Yeah.
We had Blubber Love come out.
Yeah. I love you.
With the Undertaker. So we got a crate that was delivered that says don't open till the Elimination Chamber.
Yep. 228.
Well, everybody was saying, it's Jericho because of the city he debuted in. This, that. Come to find out, Jericho's still under contract by AEW. His contract was frozen.
That we did hear around the Rumble. We heard that, right?
Right, but it was announced again today.
Was that legit?
Legit from Fightful.
Okay. That his contract was renewed.
No, not renewed. Frozen.
Meaning that he has in order to finish it up.
They still got time on it.
Well, interesting. Is someone trying to throw the scent off Fightful?
Maybe. So, but I have a feeling I think somebody's gonna show up in that crate at the Elimination Chamber.
If it is Jericho, it makes sense because, like we just said, same city he debuted in, same arena, and I think the tweet I said it was a certain amount of days since he debuted.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So
yeah,
if it's Jericho, I'd love to see who he's going to be paired up with.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was telling stories on the road. He's like, he wanted to take on Wade Barrett at WrestleMania 29. Vince said, no one cares about the IC title. So he had to work with Fandango. Look, he didn't leave the company on the greatest of terms.
Right.
We know the Kevin Owens Jericho storyline should have been for the world title or at least in a better slot, given the story that they told.
Well, this is clearly going to be like a retirement run for him.
Yeah, but how many retirement runs do we need in 2026?
We got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of retirement runs. Styles, Lesnar, Edge's retirement run in AEW. I mean, a lot of these guys are not going to be wrestling come 2027, so we got to enjoy it while we have it.
I mean, I want it to be Jericho. I just don't think it's going to be Jericho.
And if it's not, I'm very curious. Triple H has to make this good then.
Yeah, because if it's not Jericho, then and you swing and miss on this thing,
yeah,
people already thought they hated Triple H now.
Yeah,
forget it.
Follow our guy, Elite. I forgot what his Instagram handle is, but great Triple H impression, great videos. Follow him; he's great.
I just feel like the build this year to Mania is just not as high. I mean, look, nothing will beat WrestleMania 40 in terms of the build because of what we had.
The more we get away from that more time passes, we're going to look back and say wrestling got hot in 22 and they had a nice run till 2025. And that was one of the best builds ever. And we just have to appreciate that for what it was. It's rare that a combination of those things happen at the same time.
And it got hot. It got hot at the right time. And you got the right stories. And, if things worked out for The Rock at WrestleMania 39 in LA, he would have fought Roman Reigns there.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, we don't need The Rock for this to be a cool thing again. It already was starting to get cool. So they just have to find a way to get better storylines, I think, and we'll be back.
Gotta get better writers, gotta get better stories, gotta get more people involved. And if you don't like what's going on, well, you got AEW. They got some good things going on.
They do.
TNA's got some good things going on. Your boys are on the commercial, by the way.
We're still there, man. We're
still there. By the way, somebody texted me the other day, said they saw that commercial. So still going strong, man.
Yeah, I mean, in the past month, I've gotten 5 or 6 messages, so I love that.
Still going. So there's alternatives out there if you don't want to watch WWE. So Is AEW's killing it. I feel like AEW's getting back to being hot again.
Yes.
A lot of good wrestling there. I saw the match between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe, the ladder match. They killed each other. What else is new with that company? I mean,
they still take crazy bumps, but if there's an alternative of really good wrestling out there, AEW's catching fire again. So tune into that for sure.
absolutely. I mean, obviously, Revolution's coming up. They got MJF, Hangman. Looks like Young Bucks and FDR.
Yeah,
for the
should be
titles.
good. Should be good.
Should be good. Wrestling is in a good state. NFL season's over. Nightcap recaps always here as the road to WrestleMania continues. Guys, you know what to do. Follow along. Spitballing Sports on Spotify. Specialty Media on YouTube. Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis, guys. Take care.
Peace.